So Paige is live in Dallas's Koreatown inside Kroyo Korean barbecue to learn more about this unique style of grilling. Hello to you, Paige.
Oh, looking at the camera.
안녕하세요. Yes, that's how you say. Did I say it right?
Yeah, perfect.
This is John Kim with Kroyo Barbecue. Yes, we as Texans, we like to claim barbecue as our own, but the reality is, John, Korean barbecue has been around for 2,000 years. Tell me more about that tradition.
Yeah, no, I mean, it started a long time ago. You know, it really got popular and commercialized in the 50s after the war, but, you know, we're here and it's thriving.
It is thriving. And look at the spread. I have never experienced Korean barbecue. So let's begin. So it all starts with the charcoal itself. Tell me about this tradition that really occurred mountainside, you know, a millennial ago. Tell me more about how did people experience Korean barbecue and how did the tradition all begin?
Yeah, I mean, you know, people started in the mountainside, you know, grilling it, put it on the snow, taking it off, you know, but it really started after the war, you know, after the Korean War. That's really when people started to democratize pork and, you know, just it's a co-workers, you know, gathering together and, you know, just enjoying each other.
All right, so it began over 2,000 years ago, but then it became more intentional, more popularized in the 1950s.
Correct.
Then it started to venture over to the States after the Korean War. That began around the 1980s, and now it's really continued to grow and expand. And we as Texans, when we think of barbecue, we think of low and slow. That's our tradition. That's not how you have to do it all the time.
Yeah.
Tell me more about how long are we going to be grilling these days?
Yeah, no, yeah, Texas is low and slow. Before you get to the table here, we bring the fire right to your table here. And we grill everything table side. And so you're making lettuce wraps, you're, you know, trying it with different sauces and different banchan here. These are all the different side dishes. So you can kind of have different flavors as you're eating it.
And I love the fact that it's very communal.
It is.
I mean, we're all sitting here together.
Yeah.
You know, families can join together in these round tables, which, by the way, I'm a big fan of round tables because they're so much more conducive for conversations. And then we can participate. So what do we use?
Yeah, so we can, you know, always use our tongs and kind of play chef and grill as well.
Okay.
Our servers here, they're awesome, but yeah, you could always kind of grill and just make sure you get it to your liking. You know, if you like it more well done, then, you know, you can keep it there longer. If you want it to be, you know, medium rare, then you could just cook it and then go.
Well, and it's wonderful that you do have participation. You can do this on your own, but that you do have people here that know what they're doing as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then you also have a variety of these different side dishes. And in addition, you can go, when it comes to the sauces, you can go mild all the way to super spicy. So it's truly kind of a customized experience.
Yeah.
And it's good to kind of consider barbecue as something different than what we claim as, you know, the only form of barbecue being low and slow. This is a whole new take on it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to give it a sample. What do you
Right.
think?
Let's
And thank you, by the way, for giving me a fork, because as much as I try to use the chopsticks, I'm not necessarily very good at it.
Yeah, no.
So how did you and your family come into this business?
Yeah, you know, we operate a meat wholesaling business and we supply restaurants. And so this was one of the restaurants we supplied, and, you know, we just had an opportunity to take it over since 2020.
Have you seen a lot of growth? By the way, do you mind if I use my finger?
Oh, please.
Okay,
Please.
you're going to go on and do it. That is delicious. The popularity of Korean barbecue, we've seen some growth. And I also want to mention where we are right now. We're kind of in Koreatown in Dallas, in Carrolton.
Yeah.
So many different kinds of Korean restaurants. And also a lot of culture is infused here.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about this neck of the woods?
Yeah, I mean, this is the official Koreatown of Dallas, right? You know, Carrollton's scene is thriving, but, you know, this has been here since the 90s, you know? And so love this area. And, you know, H Mart just came in. And so I hope it continues to prosper and, you know.
For people who are not familiar with H Mart?
H Mart.
People,
H Mart's a big supermarket, Asian supermarket, and so they just came right next door to us, and it's kind of like, you know, helped to rejuvenate this area a little bit more.
and what makes this fun is that you have an opportunity to learn about a different culture and the best way to learn, honestly, about a different culture is to experience the food in the culture.
Yeah.
And people do lettuce wraps as well.
Yes.
I would like to know a little bit about the sides that you have
Yeah,
here.
so this is just our salad. So you can just eat it with some of the salad and the meat.
And then these traditional sides. Now, sadly, we don't have time right now to talk in detail about these sides, but we are going to be coming back a little bit later in the show. We're going to introduce you to his auntie, who is in the back making these delicious sides, and she comes straight from Korea. Definitely infuses those traditions. You want to stay tuned for that. You want to stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, as I enjoy this potato over the grill, I'll send it back inside to you. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear me right now, but we are live here in Kroyo Korean barbecue. We're going to be talking a little bit about the charcoal because this is where it all begins. This is John Kim to tell us more about that. Tell us what makes this grilling over charcoal particularly special.
Yeah, no, we use a big tan here, so that charcoal stay lit for hours like that, and so it really helps to make sure that the charcoal doesn't go down when we're cooking.
All right, well, it's another version. We think of low and slow. It doesn't necessarily have to be with that. You could still capture the flavors, and you could do it even more quickly and still make that steak tender. As we walk on back, we're going to say a quick hello to Mom and Dad. They are the proud parents of John Kim, and we're going back here. So we're also going to talk about the sides. That's a big part of what makes the Korean barbecue tradition so special. It is unique, and it really is done by a skilled artisan in the culinary field. This is Auntie. Hi, Auntie. How are you? Tell me what Auntie is doing right now.
Yeah, she's running around making all the sides right now. The panchan, she comes here every morning at 7 o'clock, and right now she's just fixing the broccoli for us.
All right, and the thing about the Korean barbecue that I understand, I know that Auntie does not speak English fluently, so that's why we're going to be talking while she's mixing.
Yeah.
But there is something special about this type of cuisine because you don't use measuring cups, so there's no measuring spoons. And even if you were using the same ingredients, you couldn't do it as well as Auntie. What makes it so special?
Definitely, yeah, no, like Imo definitely has the 손맛. So 손맛 is like the hand taste.
This way so that everyone can see it.
It's their hand taste, and so we don't use measuring spoons or anything like that. She's just seasoning everything and tasting, just by her experience.
All right, but let's go a little further back in here as well because also he talked about the stone that was on the table. Other delicious flavors are being made. Tell us about this. This is the soup.
Yeah, and this is denja. So Korean denja.
Denja?
Denja.
Denja. That's the traditional Korean soup that's tableside as well. There's so many different delicious options when it comes to Korean barbecue. You get a full meal and you also get that experience of eating together. This has been a fantastic tradition. And where do you see Korean barbecue in the future?
Yeah, I mean, Korean barbecue in the future, I see it lasting a long time, so we're not going anywhere. We want to continue to just go strong at this restaurant for as long as we can. And so, Imo's here still with us, and we'll just keep it going.
And I think it's particularly special that this is all in the family. Your father provides the meats through his meat suppliers. You run the restaurant, and you've got Auntie that's doing the sides, which is such a vital part of the whole Korean barbecue experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this has been so much fun. We invite you to come visit Koreatown here in Dallas, which is in Carrolton, I should say. So many different flavors, so much culture to experience right in our own backyard. Thank you so much for this. This has been a lot of fun. All right, I'll send it back to you.